Today we have a special guest, my girlfriend, Eva Rose.
Hello again.
So today we're going to be looking at something called Best of Redditor updates. Basically, it's where people have one story and then life happens and they have a follow-up. Here we go. Sat down on my friend's MacBook and broke it. Offered to pay her the money for it, but now she wants more because she was upgrading anyway. So it's this or she will sue me in small claims court.
That pretty much said it all.
Yeah, that sucks. The user's name is MacBook Couch, which I like a lot.
Okay. Was this in Am I Not the Asshole? Am I the Asshole?
Am I not the asshole? It was in legal advice.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay.
I had some of my friends over at my house, and one of my friends invited one of her other friends to come over. She had her MacBook on my couch when I sat on it and broke it. Since it was completely my fault, I offered to pay her the money for it, and she agreed. She got it 3 years ago, and it cost $2,200 at the time. I told her I'd wire you the money in a week to her bank account. She's now emailed me saying that, per our conversation, she's expecting the $2,700 that I agreed for. I didn't know why she added the extra money, so I got her number from my friend and called her to find her telling me she's now expecting me to pay for her new upgraded MacBook since she was upgrading anyway. She said, if I don't agree to do that, she'll be suing me in small claims court. Can a judge agree to that? You know, whenever people ask me where I'm from, I usually say Florida, and then they usually make a sign of the cross and run away. But I don't actually know where my family comes from, you know what I mean? So I partnered with MyHeritage to get a better answer. They send you this quick DNA test. You're supposed to just swab each cheek and mail it back, and then they send you a breakdown of your ethnicities. Now, I'm filming this before I get my results, so I'm gonna guess I'm like half everything in Europe. Mostly Italian, though, because I like to talk with my hands. Anyway, I'm just gonna send it over to my future self to see what he thinks. Let's see what we got, huh? They have music for every place you're from? That's crazy. Scotland! Okay, so I'm Italian. I thought I was more German, but I'm mostly Italian. That was a really fun reveal. Oh my God. They also show you people who share your DNA, so it could just kind of show you distant cousins and about where they're at. That's insane. MyHeritage covers more regions than any other test, and they have a commitment in their privacy policy to never sell or license genetic data. Ever. So try it for yourself, okay? Just click the link in the description or scan the QR code and use code Daniel. And now to honor my ancestors, I will eat an entire pizza pie. I'm just kidding. I'm lactose intolerant. I'll probably still do it though. Should I wire her the $2,200 or should I just tell her, go sue me?
Girl, be serious. What is this?
That's stupid. That is so dumb.
I mean, this is legal advice and we're no legal experts, but to me that's...
I am.
Oh, well, what do you think?
Get a lawyer. No, that's dumb. I mean,
dumb as hell.
The MacBook also depreciated in value. It's not even worth the full $2,200 anymore. Especially if she got it 3 years ago.
Also, she doesn't need to upgrade. It's not necessary.
Well, I mean, she needs a different laptop.
She needs a different laptop, but she's not entitled to a better, newer laptop.
No. It's like if you get into a car accident, the insurance company is going to pay for the value of your car.
Yeah, you're not going to be like, I was going to upgrade my car from a Honda to a
Ferrari.
BMW, so you need to cover that?
No, that's stupid. And like,
that's not how that works.
And tacking on another $500 is another, what, 20%?
And also just that she was saying, okay, thanks, wire me the $2,700 that you agreed to. It's like, no one said nothing about, or $2,700, no one said anything about that.
Nah, it's something. And also, you probably only broke the screen. Like the screen, the value of the screen replacement. You surely didn't snap the whole thing in half. Like, take it to an Apple store.
Also, it was clearly an accident. It wasn't like you were maliciously sitting on someone's laptop.
Which would be a hilarious thing to do maliciously. It's just like, you
boom.
Yeah, hey, look at this. Boom. What would you do? Would you tell that person to sue or no? I think it's like, you know what? Yeah,
I said try it. I'm sure she'll spend more money in legal fees.
Yeah.
How about use the extra $500 you would spend on 1 hour with a lawyer on your laptop?
Totally.
Dumb a hell.
Update. I went through every single comment from the 200 plus ones, and I sincerely thank each and every one of you. I did some research specifically for repairing the screen for the MacBook, and for her particular model, it's around...
It's just a screen.
That's what I said. It's probably just the screen. I did some research specifically for repairing the screen for the MacBook, and for her particular model, it's around $310 for the screen and the labor cost. So I wrote her back saying that since she didn't accept my initial offer of $2,200, I'm withdrawing that offer and offering to pay for the repair cost. She sent me an email calling me a biatch and that she's going to take me to court. Good.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
I got served a few days later and went to court. Okay, so she found a lawyer.
Wow.
This was up. All right. Hey, at least
She walked the walk. She talked the talk. She walked the walk. Hey, you know what? I respect that.
I actually do.
I respect a diva who actually sues.
I do respect that,
instead
actually.
of just talking about it.
Yeah, I really respect that. I got served a few days later, went to court. I told the judge I gave her 3 options to choose from. 1, either to write her a check for a brand new one, which was $2,200. 2, get her a refurbished one from Apple or a third party, and even used, which would be around $1,400. Or 3, fix her current MacBook since the screen is the only thing affected here, and it would cost around $300 plus money for labor.
Wait, pause. Why is this like, there's a judge that has to hear this?
Judge
Judy.
Judy.
Like, it feels like Judge Judy or those court shows where it's like, were you in the wrong for going through his phone? That's what it feels
Yeah, they're on Montel Williams for this.
This is what it feels like. Like, imagine being that judge, like, this freaking laptop.
I'd watch that episode. I would totally watch that episode. I'd be in the court for that. Would you ever be in the audience of Judge Judy?
Well, for Judge Judy, yes, because there's real tea. This is not tea. This is stupid.
You wouldn't be locked into this?
No!
I'd be locked in. I love technology, though. I'd be locked in.
Well, that's you. That's you,
I'd be
babe.
locked in. Fix her current MacBook since the screen is the only thing affected here, and it would cost around $300 plus money for labor. I printed out the email I sent her, and the mail she sent back refusing, demanding the $2,700, and calling me a bitch, and saying we'll go to court, and screenshots.
You should not be leaving paper trails,
Well,
calling people bitches.
And saying we'll go to court, and screenshots for the price quotes from different websites for a new refurbished and the screen fix for her particular model, and gave it to the judge. Okay, so basically what they're saying is I brought everything, I gave it to the judge, which is what you should do. I also told him that when I offered at the very beginning to get her a new one from the Apple store, she said, no, I want the money in cash. When I told her I'd give her $2,200 for a new one, she said, okay, but later came asking for $2,700 because she wants the upgrade. Okay, yeah,
You know what I bet? I bet she's going to take that money, fix the laptop screen for $300, and then she was going to go on a nice little shopping trip. Okay, a long time ago when I was in college, someone was helping me move, and they said, oh, can you just cover the Uber, split the Uber with me to take your boxes, like, to the storage facility? This is a friend. And I was like, sure. And so when I texted them, I was like, oh, how much was the Uber? And they're like, it was like $100. I was like, $100? Is this a $200 Uber? This is in New York also. It's like you're going literally like 8 blocks. And I was like, oh, can you actually just send me the receipt?
Yeah.
And then he was like, I don't know why you need, like, I went through all this work. I'm like, just send me the receipt. That whole ride was like $60 and I owed him $30. So I was like,
dang.
You just wanted to pocket some money off the top.
Did you say anything to him after that?
Yeah, I said, I'll give you $30. And then we like didn't speak after that.
Well, that's on them. That's stupid. I tried to show him how it's clearly visible that she was trying to take advantage of me. She gave the judge an attitude almost the whole time, which really pissed the judge off and helped my case, I guess. Why would you do that?
Girl.
You don't know anything about anything, it seems? After listening to both of us, he ruled that I pay 50% of the repair cost since she negligently left her laptop on the couch.
Is it?
I don't know about
I don't know where my laptop is right now.
Yeah, I don't know where mine.
Where's my laptop at?
Yeah.
Yours is definitely somewhere where people sit.
Mine's negligent because I do put my laptop. I do put my laptop by the side of the bed, and I've once stepped on it, and I had to repair it.
And I did the same. Well, no, that was me, babe. I think that was me.
You stepped on yours, but mine was cracked too. I got mine repaired too.
Okay.
After listening to both of us, he ruled that I pay 50% of the repair costs since she negligently left her laptop on the couch. So I'll only be paying not more than $200 to $250 for the whole thing.
Just should have taken what she offered.
Yeah, honestly, you dumb.
You were getting greedy.
You dumb.
You were getting greedy.
And also, don't be mean to the judge.
Amateur hour.
Well, you don't even know how to do proper crime over here. You don't even know over here, huh? If it weren't for you guys, I would have paid $2,200 instead of around $200. And I honestly loved her look at the end as we walked out. I bet her look was like,
I bet she looked real stupid.
Because she was being real stupid.
Yeah. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Why's your hand wet?
Buddy! Stop! You know my hands get clammy, babe.
I do.
I'm nervous.
Are you nervous?
Well,
You're not nervous. No, you're not.
Well, yes.
Let's see what the comments say, huh?
Yeah.
Op is a treasure. They took full responsibility for something that wasn't entirely their fault and was willing to make it right within minutes or seconds, meaning I'm going to pay for the whole thing, then recognized their goodwill was being taken advantage of and stood their ground. Excellent outcome. Hopefully that friend is no longer around. Quite behavior. Thankfully, it sounds more like it was a friend of a friend situation. Yeah.
That must be so awkward for the next group hang.
Totally. Well,
because they sued each other, or that one tried to sue the other one.
Straight up went to court? They had a judge
That
between
is
them?
doing too much. Doing absolutely too much.
You ever been to court?
No.
I have.
Oh.
We'll move on. Ops boyfriend won't stop telling her that she smells bad. I've been with my boyfriend for over a year and everything has been great except for one thing. Every single day, at least once, he will tell me that I stink and smell of BO.
This is my worst nightmare. That's why I'm always carrying deodorant and perfume.
Yep.
Also, I don't know how somebody can date someone they think smells bad.
It's a good question.
Like, I don't care how vazoin you are. If you stink,
That means fine, like attractive.
I think
No, they need help.
thank you.
I'm
Don't
helping you.
insult your audience.
I'm not insulting,
They
I'm
know
just
what
saying.
I'm talking about.
I'm just
Y'all
saying.
know what vazoin means. Anyway, if you stinky, I don't want you. So anyway,
Been saying that since I was 6.
yes.
If
well,
you
yes.
stinky, get out of my face if you stinky.
Also, there are nicer. There's still so much more to read, but there are nicer ways. Like when, well, I do tell you, like maybe a little stinky,
Yeah, she's told me that.
but that's like after the gym or like before.
Like we're in bed and I'm up here like this.
armpit out. I'm like, oh baby.
Yeah, she'll tell me that.
But-
and I'll go, and I'll get up and put deodorant on
But
or
if
something.
I was dating someone I really, really liked them, but they were like kind of stinky.
Yeah.
But I guess if I would be like, oh, do you want to put on deodorant? I would.
I like
you
to touch
deodorant.
on this shoulder. Do you want to put on
Let
deodorant?
me hold your hand when I say this.
When we met, I showered every day, applied regular deodorant in the morning, brushed my teeth 3 times a day. 3 times a day? That's more than the average bear, I feel like.
After every meal.
Yeah.
I did that in middle school when I had braces. I brought a toothbrush to school and I brushed my teeth in the sink in the bathroom.
Look at them things. Look at them go. Boom, boom. When we met, I showered every day, applied regular deodorant in the morning, brushed my teeth 3 times a day. Now I'm so paranoid about smelling bad that I shower at least twice a day, which is not good for your skin, your oils, right? You need those.
Yeah.
I apply new industrial strength deodorant every few hours. I have a reminder on my phone, perfume, and I brush my teeth anytime I eat or drink something that isn't water. Damn. Which, by the way, if you brush your teeth right after you eat, I think something like your enamel's a little soft after you eat because it's exposed to acids in the food. And so if you brush your teeth immediately after eating, it can actually ruin your enamel. So
Good to know.
you started having unhealthy habits because of this. I feel like I'm going crazy. I didn't think I smelled bad in the beginning, and I don't think I smell bad now, but obviously I smell bad to him, right? I'm the weirdo that keeps sneakily smelling their own armpits. I've been to the doctor, and he has said that there is nothing medically wrong. It has honestly gotten to the point where I literally shove my armpit in my friends' and family's faces asking if I smell bad. They all say I don't smell like BO at all. One friend even said I smelled too clean, like a Lush store. I'm getting so paranoid. He won't cuddle or anything when he says I smell. I really don't know what more I can do.
I'm wondering if he has a condition.
Maybe. One time I was with a girl that we
What
went
do
on
you mean?
I went on a first date with a girl once, and something in my nose picked up something that it wasn't BO. It was just like a flavor or something that I was like, I don't want to be around this person. I don't know what it was. I feel like my anxiety made her smell bad to me, but she didn't smell bad. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. It's kind of like, what is the, like pheromones
Yeah.
that attract people? What is the opposite of that repels? Is there something that's like pheromones, but it repels people?
Farrah stank.
Mm.
That was the worst reaction. I was just like, it was like acknowledging I said something, but
I was processing.
it's just like a pained acknowledgement of what I said.
That's funny, baby.
No.
That's
It's too late. No, don't get your pity off of me. Update.
I would love to hear this.
So, unexpected edit. I waited for him to make a comment this morning so I could talk to him. It was less than an hour after waking up that he said, God, you stink. I had already showered and put on deodorant. I snapped and asked what exactly he was smelling because at this point, I'm one of the cleanest people on the planet, and if I still smell bad to him, then we should just break up. He got all panicked and upset. I eventually got out of him that this is what his father always said to his mother. Apparently, his father told him that it was a surefire technique to have a woman never leave you because she will feel too low to cheat, will only love you, and will always be clean. Needless to say, his father is wrong. He's packing his things and moving out of my house today.
He sucks and his daddy sucks too. This is crazy.
They both suck.
What manosphere bullshit?
Manosphere?
Yeah.
Is that like Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
Type? Yeah. That's
crazy.
That's just gaslighting.
Also, that comes from such a place of insecurity. You have to break down someone's self-esteem so badly so you think they won't cheat on you.
For over a year?
For over a year, you're literally driving them into like a psychological break.
Your dad should be in jail.
Yeah.
Your dad
Oh my
should be in jail.
God. The fact that he just literally learned this from his dad and just copied him.
Not
Do
o-
better. Do better.
Not only do you not have a personality,
literally
because you're
just copy paste.
pasting bad ideas from your dad,
And,
but
like,
it's
the
also
most
bad
toxic-
advice.
Terrible advice.
Would you rather somebody sit on your laptop or say you stink for...
Oh, sit on my laptop because Sit on my laptop. Because if someone told me I stank, okay, not saying this would work on me, but if someone told me you stink, I would internalize that so deeply.
Yeah.
I would do what this girl did times like 50. And I already, like, sometimes I do shower twice a day.
Probably for at least a month. You'd probably do it. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it would take you a long time before you realize the other person is gaslighting you, I think. Me too.
Well, also, I would be around people, and people do tell me I tend to smell good. So at a certain point, I'd be like, it's you. You have a problem. So this whole charade would have been wrapped up pretty quick.
You think so? How long do you think it would have taken?
I think it would have literally taken, if I had hung out with this person 4 times, and every time they're like, you stink, you stink, you stink, I would have been like,
What the hell is wrong with you?
what? There's something off. There's something off with you, boo, because I famously don't stink.
It is a pretty famous. They put it on the Goodyear blimp in LA. Eva Rose doesn't stink.
Never.
Yeah, that's funny. This is horrible. This is just obviously like gaslight. This is I would say emotional abuse, would you say?
Yeah, that is, you're literally driving someone to question themselves and their sense of sanity and their sense of self.
Yeah.
And the reasoning behind it is just all the more sinister.
Yeah, it's not cute. It's not a cute thing. It's not a cute thing your dad did to keep your mom around. It's like, it's stupid.
Also, like, as a woman, because we're conditioned to be so groomed, like overly groomed, you know, you have your hair done. For some people, have your makeup done. You have to, you know, smell good, everything. This in particular is extra insidious because, like, as women, we're just conditioned to be so well groomed in society. Honestly, I would start stinking it up just out of spite.
You'd be tooting it up.
I'll be tuning it up, stinking it up. No industrial grade deodorant. Hey, if you stink, there's someone out there that will love your stink.
Some people are into that, actually.
Some people are really into that. There's someone for everybody.
Yeah. Hey, son, you know the woman who gave you life and brought you into this world and probably loves you more than you can ever comprehend? Here's how I dehumanize her so she sticks around. You should try it with your girlfriends.
Oh my God, clocked.
Trust me, son, with my patented technique of emotional manipulation and gaslighting, you'll have to beat all the women off with a stick. What a sad thing you have to do. It's like, I was telling you this the other day. There was a guy who commented on Instagram and he said something like, women are never funny. And then I replied to that, you know, how does it feel knowing you have to select women with low self-esteem in order to get laid? It's like manually doing that. And you know what I'm saying? It's just tough. It's bad.
And also, it's like you want someone with low self-esteem because you also have low self-esteem.
True.
If you're someone with a healthy self-esteem, why the hell do you want to be with someone? If you meet someone who has low self-esteem, wouldn't you want to build them up?
Yeah.
To a level of confidence so you both can be two confident individuals instead of breaking someone down?
Drag them down now with
Nobody can drag me down. 1D fans in the chat? Let's move on.
My dad is furious that my mom slept with other people in an open marriage he wanted.
Oh, I am tuned in. Speaking of Judge Judy.
Speaking of Judge Judy, my parents got married when they were super young. My dad knocked up my mom and their parents married them off. Well, that sounds like a good start.
That sounds lovely.
I love that. My grandfather was able to set up some business for my dad in a big city, and they moved here soon after my birth.
People just don't do that anymore. They don't set you up with a business in the city in the big city anymore.
You know what? My son's going to do a business in the city. The big city. So silly. You like my thigh? I'm wearing shorts today. I'm wearing shorts today.
And I'm wearing sweatpants. I would have gotten a better fit, but I didn't know. I would have been showing.
My grandfather was able to set up some business for my dad in a big city, and they moved here soon after my birth. My mom grew up in a conservative southern town.
Okay, well.
Where she was taught to be a submissive wife. And even after moving to the big city, she didn't spend much time socializing. Okay, so she's
big city. What is the big city?
I don't know, man. Houston?
The concept of a big city.
It's the concept.
It's not a place, it's a concept.
It's specifically Adam Driver's megalopolis. My mom grew up in a conservative southern town where she was taught to be a submissive wife. And even after moving to the big city, she didn't spend much time socializing. She had no friends and never went out. My dad was only there to provide for us. He was always away on business, and he wasn't there as a husband for my mom or as a father to me. My dad made a lot of money, so we never lacked anything. Okay, then get a nanny. She should go to the knitting club, do pottery,
Yeah, but some people don't want nannies. For some people, there's a stigma around, not raising your own children. You know?
Yeah, I've heard of this, and and I completely disagree.
Yeah, like if you need help, you need help. You never want to have a situation where it's also sad when kids like have no relationship with their parents because they're only being cared for by a nanny. But mom should get some help, or whoever's staying at home with the kids should get some help, so they can have a sense of balance in their life.
Growing up, I became my mom's best friend. We would talk about everything. I pushed her to make friends and to find hobbies. After years of pushing, she started going to a nearby park and made her first friend, a gym trainer. What, like a Pokemon gym trainer? Like Brock from the Rock Gym? I never hear
trainer.
You hear personal trainer or like, that's so funny. A gym trainer is such a
technically
funny.
all the trainers at the gym are gym trainers.
Yeah, Megan Trainer, if she's at the gym, is technically a gym trainer. Jerry Trainer, Crazy Steve from iCarly, if he was working, if he was working out, he'd be a gym trainer.
Let's keep reading.
Okay. Encouraged by her friend and me, she decided to join the gym. Yay!
Yay!
She met a few more people there and started having some semblance of a social life, but she still continued to tell me everything. I think my dad's new secretary gave him the idea, but he asked my mom for an open marriage.
What do you mean dad's new
ago.
secretary gave him the idea? Like he wanted to sleep with the secretary?
Sounds like
so
it.
cliche. Can we try something else?
What if the secretary was a man? And the male secretary was like, open marriages are pretty cool. Who's to say
crazier things have happened?
Who's to say that the secretary was a sexy senorita? I'm gonna move on. I think my dad's new secretary gave him the idea, but he asked my mom for an open marriage almost a year ago. He told her he wasn't happy in their marriage and that she wasn't providing him with everything he wanted, like a little bit of that.
Yeah, on top of, the emotional and physical labor of caring for a child in a house, which is more work than clocking in.
My mom, who is a Christian wife, I don't know why that's in quotes, was mortified and told me about the proposal in tears. Okay, so you real friends with your mom. I suggested she get a divorce, but she said she didn't believe in it and she wouldn't be the one to end their marriage.
I'm confused about this concept because I understand there are people who don't believe in divorce, and it usually comes from some sort of religious belief system, right?
Yeah.
But then isn't non-monogamy also going against that same belief system? So is it just for the look of it? Like it looks better to stay married legally and then just do your own thing on your own time privately? That's just my question.
I don't know. As my dad pushed, I knew exactly where this would end up if my mom agreed. Her friend and I convinced her. I convinced my mom to sleep around on my father.
Yeah.
Because he was going to do it.
Hey, two-way street.
My mom was hesitant at first, but she agreed with the condition that they would be completely transparent with each other. My dad was a middle-aged 41-year-old man with a belly, and my mom, 39, was an athletic woman who worked out regularly. I'm a 22-year-old woman, by the way. I don't know how my dad was so blind or what he thought would happen. I helped create online Well, this is what... He didn't think you were going to help your mom. That's probably what he didn't
I also think there... Because we've seen this story in varying... Fonts. And I'm only saying it like this because this is usually how it's written out, where a man wants open marriage or open relationship. Woman in the heterosexual relationship, woman reluctantly agrees. The man is delusional enough to think that people are going to be clamoring at the opportunity to have sex with him.
Oh, they're knocking down my door.
Which never happens.
Oh.
And then the woman is just cleaning up. She just, Men
watching this, don't bet against your girlfriend. You're gonna lose. You lose. The house wins every time. House wins every time. Do not do that. This guy, I don't know who's been hyping this man up.
The secretary. The secretary.
Who's the secretary? I don't
know who the secretary is, but the secretary gave him the idea. No, the secretary actually did a good job because now this mom, she's getting her Mojo Jojo back. Isn't that a character from...
Is the villain in Powerpuff Girls, yeah.
Well, she's getting her mojo back, is what I mean.
She's getting the monkey with the brain thing.
Yeah, the exposed brain.
And a cape, yeah.
She's, she's now getting maybe she's getting the appreciation and the attention that she didn't get in her marriage.
Yep.
In helping her see there's another way to live life. So, this weirdly maybe worked out in her favor. Well, let's keep reading, though.
Okay. I didn't know how my dad was so blind or what he thought would happen. I helped create online dating profiles for my mom almost 6 months ago. Oh, you were ready, dude. After getting an insane number of matches, choosing from them and chatting with them for months, my mom started hooking up with a few people.
She got a roster.
Getting all this attention has provided a massive boost to her confidence, and she seems better. Good for her.
Also because she probably doesn't have any dating experience because they got married super young.
Yeah, so she
this is her first time dating. I'm sorry, this is why you can't marry the first person you date.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Well, sometimes
some
it works
people
out.
have, but I think it's in most cases. Some people get lucky and the first person they date ends up being like the best match for them.
Yeah.
But I think particularly for women, you can't just assume the first guy you're with is the only guy you can be with.
Oh, I think we found the answer to the secretary question. My dad hooked up with his secretary almost immediately. He's had very little luck with other ladies. With their transparency thing, my mom tells him about all of her hookups. A few weeks ago, my dad screamed at my mom for some minor thing, probably feeling some type of way. Usually my mom would have apologized, but with her new confidence, she didn't back down.
Period.
It's been constant fights for the last few weeks.
Well, that's not great.
My dad keeps starting fights by making snide remarks about my mom's clothing or appearance. He almost even called my mom a hoer, but stopped himself. I think open marriage finally sunk in. My mom told me he tried to have a conversation about stopping their open marriage, but she immediately shot it down. I think they'll split up. He's like, no, stop! I just wanted to my secretary.
That's why I think I consider myself a monogamous person.
I hope so.
Yes, I am a monogamous person. But there are some people who are open to the idea of polyamory and non-monogamy and all that kind of stuff. But doing it this way is so unethical. Like
doing it midway through the relationship.
Or I think people can start, there are people who've been married for a long time and they're like, you know what, like let's open the marriage and it's more so for mutual benefit. But to do it with the intent to sleep with someone specifically, it's you want to cheat. You want to cheat, but you want it to be sanctioned.
You're asking for permission.
You're asking for permission to cheat. And then with the idea of like, oh, and that person's not going to go out and date somebody else.
Yeah, because you thought she had low self-esteem, but she's been working at the gym.
And it's like, I just think that's so devious to suggest an open marriage or an open relationship because there's someone specifically you already have teed up in your mind.
Yeah,
and you just want to pursue it with a clear conscience. Like,
and also you've got the dad is up against not only the wife but a 22-year-old daughter who's siding with the wife, and she's gonna know how to rocket launch mama out there.
Yeah,
dude. She's gonna be
she got that
pimping her
Hinge
out
profile all the way together.
She probably took the
photos. She probably took the photos.
My dad was never there for either of us, but the thought of my parents splitting up still feels weird. Well, I don't think it's gonna feel as weird as both your parents sleeping around with other people and letting you know about all of it.
They're not together anymore.
Yeah, no, that's you gotta go through that. I don't feel bad for my dad, but I wish he put more effort into his family. I'm happy for my mom, though. Well, that's that. There's an update, though. I wonder, what do you think is going to happen? Don't look at it. What do you think? Well, they're divorced.
I think they're just splitting up.
For sure. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
A few days after my previous post, my dad left our home and had a divorce served to my mom in a week. My grandparents didn't know about any of this. I didn't even think of the grandparents. That's great. And they're probably just touching 60. They're probably
These are
young.
the grandparents that set up the business in the big city.
In the big goddamn city.
And the big city.
Yeah, the big shit. My grandparents didn't know about any of this, but my dad told them when he served the divorce. He also implied to them my mom was cheating on him.
Oh, that's rich.
You're a coward, dude.
You're a bitch.
Yeah, you're a coward.
The consequences of your own actions. If he didn't want to f the secretary, none of this would be happening.
You know what? This is a he who smelt it dealt it situation. Wouldn't you say?
I guess, yeah. Sure. Sure.
Both sets of grandparents came to our home and started berating my mom. I kept screenshots of all my parents' communications, and my mom showed them to them, and it got way worse after that. Grandparents started fighting each other and blaming each other's children for causing all of it. In the big city?
Damn.
They're going to cause a ruckus in the big city?
Nothing good happens in the big city.
But they have a business in the big city.
Yeah, well, what even is that business in the big city?
Well, now it's our business.
Yeah.
A few days after this, my mom's old church friend... Why do you keep putting this
Why is everyone... How bored... I thought this was the big city. How bored are people where everyone's showing up to this house?
True.
What, you're all showing up to the house and getting into people's business?
Really good. What is this, like a queer eye meeting? Like just a bunch of cameras and a bunch of friends coming in?
Or like, what?
My mom's old church friends came to her home. Back when my mom used to go to church, they used to look down on her for being from a small town.
Because, baby, you in the big city.
You're in the big city.
You're in the big city, where apparently everyone has so much time on their hands of showing up to people's houses.
That's insane.
I'd be that person, though. I love being in people's business.
I found a way. I found a way. Shout out to you, Drake.
And Josh.
No, I mean the rapper.
Not Drake. Bad time.
My mom has always been a very caring and non-judgmental person, so she disagreed with their bigotry, and they began excluding her from their activities. After she met her gym friends, my mom stopped going to church entirely. Sometimes people just need community.
Yeah.
People go to church a lot of times because that's where you run into
that's how they find friends.
Faces.
Yeah. Good. For a lot of adults, it's sometimes the only way they can find friends.
Totally. I get that. It's tough. After she met her gym friends, my mom stopped going to church entirely. These church friends started calling my mom a slut, and she kicked them out. Good for you for kicking them out.
Yeah.
My mom is on a cut right now. Okay, so cut means like you bulk up and then you cut down. So she's like actively...
She's getting shredded.
She's bodybuilding at this point. So she has very defined abs and arms. Come on, so she's like jacked, dude. Did her P90X.
People should be scared.
So along with all the normal stuff getting thrown at her, my grandparents accuse her of having a man body, and she's also had a lot of random transphobia thrown at her.
Oh my God, just because she's getting in shape?
In the big city, dude? Her trainer friend has been a great support through all of this. She contacted the attorney she used for her divorce, and my mom is spending a lot of time at her house. Turns out, the business my dad is running is owned by my mom. It was set up by my mom's dad in her name, so it belongs to her. I did not know this until now and assumed that my dad owned it. The whole situation is a huge mess right now. Dad is living in some hotel, and my grandparents left yesterday after a week of fighting and trying to force my parents back together. Yeah, I'm sure that was a good move, saying come on, man body, why don't you go to the husband?
That's crazy.
That's so dumb. I know there's a lot more divorce drama to come, but I hope it calms down for now. Just
what a year this week has been. That was a lot. Does Shakespeare not have a story about this? Because this feels like tale old as time.
This is a mess. This is silly. I think mom's good she's got a way better community than ever. She used to be really sheltered. She used to be like isolated.
Yeah.
And now she's got a great friendship with her daughter.
Yeah. If anything, this stands really just to benefit the mom.
Yeah,
this whole situation.
Totally. This is one of those situations where, you're starting your life over at 40, at 39. Good for you.
Yeah.
Why is it always the one who wants to open up the relationship, the person who gets angry that their partner is seeing other people too? What do you think open relationship means? Because they don't want an open relationship. They want a hall pass to cheat while the other remains monogamous.
Yeah. They want to cheat guilt-free.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is the case in all open relationship dynamics. I think it's the case in this instance specifically where someone is asking for the open relationship because they have someone in mind that they want to.
And I think there is a subculture of polyamory where one person has two partners, but both of them have to be true to him. Wait, who's that rapper?
Are you talking about polyamory as in like in Mormonism?
No. I'm talking about there's the type of polyamory.
Polygamy? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about there is I don't know if polyamory is the right term, but there is a relationship dynamic where there's one focal point and multiple partners.
I think it's polygamy where it's usually one in cases it was a man and had multiple wives.
Does polygamy mean married?
I think so. Polyamory though, I don't see any healthy polyamory dynamic where one person gets to be the star and everyone else is just their hanger on. Like I think that's what Sister Wives is.
Oh, maybe I
think that's polygamy. I don't think that's a real. Hey, people comment below if you are an expert in polyamory.
I'm sure we got a few, and that's a legit, hey, good on you for being open enough with yourself and to have that like emotional vocabulary to be able to find your tribe like that. That's great. Good for you, dude. But I don't have that vocab. My best guy friend just told me he's in love with me 2 days before my wedding.
Yikes.
I've been with my fiance for 3 years, engaged for a little over a year. My best friend and I have known each other since freshman year of college. We're all in our early 30s. This morning, I woke up to a long-ass text from my guy best friend that he had sent around 6 a.m. This has happened to me before.
Really?
Yeah. Well, not to me, but I dated a girl for 4.5 years. As we evolved in our relationship, a dude wrote a 7-page love letter to her. And then after that, I called him. I made him cry. They didn't talk for a year. And then 1 year later, they went on a trip.
After you guys had broken up?
Nope.
Oh.
But we're not together anymore.
Well, and what happened?
She said nothing, but I don't know, dude. Probably nothing, but still. It's like that's so
weird.
That's so stupid. Don't do that shit.
I think if you are interested in someone who's in a relationship, and that's your friend, I think the only reason you would tell them your feelings is because you're like, I need to take some time away for these feelings to dissipate. But if you're like making confessions of love, it's because you want...
That is that's a blowout conversation.
And there's like an underlying hope that they'd be like, oh, you're right, it's been you all along. I'm going to break up with this person to be with you now.
It's the
That's
dang
what
media.
It low-key is.
It's the media. It's the big city media.
Okay, Fox News.
It's conditioning you into thinking you'll have a Ross and Rachel moment. Wait! Don't board that airplane!
Oh my God, wait. Is that a Friends thing?
Oh God,
I never saw Friends.
I'm so old. Basically, it was him pouring his heart out. He said he's been in love with me for years. Ellen, how'd you miss that? That, to me, is a skill issue. You should have figured that out. He said he's been in love with me for years, but always hoped I'd end up breaking up with my fiance and finally noticing him. God. He asked me to call off the wedding and run away with him. Question mark, question mark. It said, I needed to tell you before it was too late. That's what the guy said in the love letter to the girl I was dating. I needed to tell you before it was too late. It's like,
well, too late. 2 days before the wedding.
Things getting serious.
Also, it's like, you want me to... The deposits have been paid.
That, the money.
I know, but the money. I mean... The principle of it all is psycho, but also you really think for your dumbass, I'm going to call off the most expensive day of my life because you didn't have the courage to be like, hey, I'm into you years ago? That's just skill issue. That's just stupid.
Yeah, it's not gonna work, dude. And if it did, it would be sour and bad for the rest of your life. It would be so bad. Bad juju. Everybody would hate you.
Yeah.
There's no good.
Everyone's gonna hate you.
Yeah, and they do. Well, they will anyway. They will if she says yes or no. And I'm sure some people watching this will be like, well, actually, like whatever.
I'm sure there are cases where this has happened and the person ran off with them and everyone lived happily ever after. But this is crazy.
Yeah. I just feel gross and sad. I have no feelings for him beyond platonic love. I've drafted a response and deleted it over and over. Yeah, dude. I mean, the thing is, like, when this happened to the person that I was with, she was like, man, I can't have like a guy friend. I can't just have a guy friend that just wants to be my friend.
Had that happen multiple times to her in the past?
Yeah.
Where... Yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, I'm friends with a lot of guys, and that would just annoy me. I'd be like, really?
It would annoy you, and unfortunately, because you're so attractive, if you were single for long enough, and if they were single at the same time, something would be said.
Hey, no, I have guy friends that I've been single at the same time, and we've been single at the same time, and we just homies.
Well, that's good.
Let me just say, I think it is important for people to be friends with people of other, of the gender they're attracted to, particularly with this whole thing of like men and women can't be friends. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just feel like we're so conditioned to not like the ultimate relationships to really put value on are romantic, and platonic is below that when they should be held in like equal regard. You know what I mean? So like there are some people who are like, yeah, I'll be friends with this girl, but really it's because I'm waiting around for when she, in this case, noses me, and then we could be romantic. And it's like you have an agenda.
Which comes from like a weird predatory mindset.
Yeah,
almost.
and it also like
you're waiting in the shadows.
Yeah, like also, is it in the case of men and women, you should be able to be friends with a guy or a girl and without
an ulterior motive.
No ulterior motive.
I haven't even told my fiance. Ooh, he should probably know.
Is this friend invited to the wedding? I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah, but not now. I mean,
Sure.
That's an uninvite. That's the fastest way to get uninvited, right?
Yeah.
I don't want him to have to worry about me so soon to our wedding. I know I need to, but I don't know what to do or how to phrase it. What's worse is that he's become my fiance's friend, too. I'm also pretty pissed that my friend chose such an unfortunate time to cause me such distress. There were so many times over the years he could have just bucked up and told me how he felt, but waiting until right before I'm married, like I would just cancel my wedding and leave my fiance because of a goddamn text? I want to tell him not to come to the wedding. Well, you got to do that now. Because if I were the husband, if I was the fiance and found out that happened to you, it's like, no, get him out. Like, I'd be mad because there'd be photos of the guy in the wedding.
Yeah.
Looking sad, like eating cake in the corner by himself.
Do they do this at weddings? Where they're like, if anyone objects.
Yeah.
Do they still do that?
I think so.
Do they ever do that? Because I think that's like kind of crazy.
I think they do that. Speak now, forever hold your peace. I think that's like a big part.
You're asking for drama. I think people who wrote that in, they want drama. I think someone who decided, the officiant or whoever has to say like, if you object to this union, speak now or forever hold your peace. They're looking to stir the pot.
I wonder if
because why are you giving anyone the opportunity?
I wonder if you could request your officiant not do that.
Babe, I don't think they do that. I think that's like a thing in the movies. Comment below.
I want to tell him not to come to the wedding. I can't trust that he wouldn't try to pull something. I don't even know if I want to talk to him again, but the thought of losing my best friend is heartbreaking. Well, you already lost him.
Yeah, you lost him because he doesn't see you as a friend.
Yeah, he's just been sticking around. That's the biggest thing. It's like he's admitted to you he doesn't see you as just a friend,
Yeah.
Hell, the thought of not having him at my wedding is really painful.
I'd be over that. I'd be like, weird.
No, he's putting everything at risk. I mean, it sucks. You got to mourn
Yeah.
that loss quick though, because the rest of your life is starting in 2
Also,
days.
like before,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just really selfish to be texting someone that, knowing they're like currently trying to coordinate things with family and the food and the venue, and also the fact that they're getting married and everything, and and then to throw that on top of everything, I'd be like, don't talk to me.
You're a coward.
In a text.
Yeah, in a text.
We didn't even get into that. A text? That's pathetic.
I mean, over coffee would also be like insane.
Well, yeah, that's
not that she would have
insane.
time or weddings
but like
in 2 days.
to write, I don't know. I understand some people like to write things out in text because it's how they like organize their thoughts and feelings. But this, you don't drop a bomb like this over text.
No, that's so stupid, dude. What do you think he's up to now while she's drafting her response? Is he just like,
he is in bricks.
I bet her next text is gonna go, "Can we talk?" ? Which would be awful.
I don't even know what I'd say.
Because she misses the
Left unseen.
Because she feels bad about the friendship. So like, what is he hoping for
That she's like, oh my God, you're right. I felt this way about you too.
over text?
Yeah.
He's put me in an uncomfortable, impossible situation. I wish it wasn't on me to deal with his feelings for him. It's not on you. I wish he had either stopped being friends with me when he realized us ending up together would never happen, or had told me a while ago. I don't want to kick him while he's down, but I need to make it clear that I have no feelings. The wedding is still on, and I don't want him to attend. We've been friends for over a decade. I've been crying over this all day. I feel almost disgusted. That's the right feeling. Knowing that this whole time he had ulterior motives. How do I even go about dealing with this? I'm supposed to get married in under 48 hours. Edit, I'll be showing the text to my fiance after he gets home from his brother's. I won't say anything until he's here with me. Yeah, that's a good move. The fiance is going to be mad at the guy because it's a thing to do. He's
also, that's his friend also. This guy became his friend too.
Yeah. And that was true in my case as well. And I called him. I was like, we had beers together. You were on my couch. We watched together. Like, what are you talking? What are you doing, you dummy? You just put a big red target on your back. You're never going to see her again. You know that, right? My guess is that's probably the same thing this guy's going to say.
If we were getting married and you got a text like that,
I would tell you immediately.
Well, yeah, you would be like, I want to know.
Yeah, I would tell you instantly.
Because I'd be like, I'm going to pull up.
I don't think you would fight. Well,
hey,
but we'd be like,
if someone would be so bold.
Yeah. That's
the
crazy.
day before our wedding to be like, hey man, you want to leave her? I'd be like, oh, well, come meet me in this parking lot and we're going to scrap.
Yeah. Knowing me though, I feel like I would be paranoid enough about it to make sure that never happens, I feel like. Okay, here's the update. You ready for the update?
Yes.
My husband, she didn't run away with the guy? My husband, I love being able to say that now, and I got back from our honeymoon yesterday. I turned on my phone and opened the Reddit app, and it was still signed into this account, so I had an oh yeah moment and figured I'd post an update. That's cute. That means she had a little happily ever after kind of
Yeah, she like was so
She got to
happy.
live.
She didn't let it overshadow her big day.
So a lot of people here really helped validate the icky mess of feelings I was having. Thank you for that. Posting here really helped put my thoughts into words. So that night, my fiance got home from his brother's. I let him sit down and then I showed him the text. He read it and I watched his eyes get bigger and expression angry. Yeah, dude, I'd be pissed. Of course, I started apologizing like an idiot and he told me I didn't owe him an apology or anything. That's great. We talked and he told me he figured the guy had a crush but kept it respectful. Yeah, that is the male brain will go, oh, she's got a guy friend that hangs around all the time. Oh, he's single and sad looking. It's true, babe. It's true. Like any man would see a single guy hanging around a girl and go, well,
What if that's just his, and not in this case, but what if that's just his homie? What if that's just his homegirl?
I don't know.
See, babe, you're the problem. You're the problem. You don't think that a single guy could just be friends with a girl because he's like, she's a cool chick and we hang.
Maybe there is a little piece of me that has like a slight archaic belief system.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I think if you're attractive enough, and if the guy the guy was single and he had the shot, he would go for it. I think that's an archaic belief. People are going to be pissed.
No.
Do you disagree? You disagree?
Yeah, no, because I've been in this. I'm trying to think of a time where, aside from like middle school or high school, I can't think of a time when a guy friend has ever. I think once also, if they get to know me, they're like, she a weirdo. Like I think after a while, they're like, she crazy.
Well, you have that going for you. This is what I really mean.
Okay.
As a boyfriend, if there is a single guy who really likes hanging around your girlfriend,
of course you might be like,
as a boyfriend, you're just going to be you're just going to clock it and lock it. You're going to clock it and lock it.
Clock and lock it.
You're going to clock it. You're going to go, all right, and you're going to put it in the back of your mind.
But what if over time that person that like they're just
it's cool. I don't know. I think it's a guy. I think just guys will have that just in the back of their head.
I know that is a common thing because also I feel like women do that too. If there's like some women are like, my boyfriend doesn't need to have any friends that are girls
Well,
for that
yeah.
reason. But I think that's like crazy because don't you want, and you want to be with a man that sees a value in friendship with women outside of romantic or sexual context because he will see you as a full human being.
Yeah, because those kinds of guys see women as objects.
Yeah.
We talked and he told me he figured the guy had a crush, but kept it respectful. And really, he had. We were close, but beyond a side hug during greetings and goodbyes, there was no physicality. I even let him read out past messages just to see that there was no emotional affair or me leading him on. I never even vented about my fiance when we would have arguments because I knew better than to do that. I talked to my mom, LOL. And that's great. Definitely don't do that. Like if you're in a relationship, don't vent about your partner to somebody who could hypothetically be interested in you. Even if you don't think that's the case, don't do that because it sends a signal for sure. So my fiance asked me what I wanted to do. That's really nice.
Yeah.
And I said that while it did sadden me, I didn't want him at our wedding. I was afraid that he would try some nonsense. Bro, oh God, I would be so mad. We typed up a very brief message. It said, "Friend, I'm sorry that you mistook my friendship for something more. The wedding is going to happen and it'd be best if you didn't attend. To be clear, I let blank read this message and he stands by my decision to uninvite you."
Okay.
That's
I
it.
am
That's
on their
good.
side, obviously.
That's
but
great.
If I was that guy getting that message, I'd be sick.
Well, yeah. You're sick already.
I'd be sick.
You're sick already. You're
like,
dumb.
Because that's the worst case scenario, which is like, and that's what would happen. So don't even open that can of worms.
No. Yeah, don't do that, dude. I love this message.
Yeah,
it's
very
super
clear.
Yeah, it's
No
like
room for confusion.
no. And if he's intelligent, if this guy is intelligent,
He won't respond.
he's going to take the L. He's not going to respond. He's going to move to Tokyo. he's
He's gonna
He's
leave.
going to join a gym, eat sushi all the time, get himself a beautiful Japanese woman for himself, or whatever they got in Tokyo.
Let's just keep reading.
All right. We wanted to make it clear that it was me who wanted him to not come, not just my fiance. That's great. Knowing him, he'd probably claim that my fiance forced me to uninvite him. Yeah. He read the message and left it on read for a while. I honestly started getting pretty anxious over it, and the fiance asked if I wanted to block him. Part of me wanted to, and part of me wanted to hear him out. No, there's no hearing him out. And when he finally responded, the text was so long that I had to click on it to read it.
The next like when texts are so long that there's a little arrow and it opens to like a reader thing.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Is that real?
Yes. Where someone literally sends you a novel.
I've
gotten that and I've done that.
Dang.
And that's like, you have to be writing literally like probably 2,000 words.
Oh, an essay.
Like an essay.
It was horrible. He called me a liar for leading him on for over a decade, that he hoped my fiance left me and that we were infertile. You know how you have your friends' shared locations and be like, show me where he's at right now. I'd be showing up. I promise you.
He's just an entitled head. Sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm not sorry. Because to send that, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? If we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, he had to say what he had to say. It's selfish and inconsiderate.
Yeah.
But you're sending that message knowing, like there's a part of you that has to know that it's not going to work out in your favor. But then to be, first of all, the fact that he's
incel behavior.
Incel! I blame the manosphere. These people are crazy.
Dude, it was just horrible thing after horrible thing, and I started crying.
Better do this before the wedding.
Yeah. Fiance took my phone into the other room while I sobbed. I think he called him, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I would go.
I'd be like, where you at?
I would go nuts.
Where you at?
What I do know is after about an hour, he came back in, handed me my phone back, and told me that friend was now blocked on everything, would not be attending, and the best man and my maid of honor knew of the situation and would handle it for me.
They're going to go beat his ass.
Oh.
I would. If I was the maid of honor in this situation, I'd be like, oh.
I'd be in the truck.
It's on. Let's go.
God.
I don't believe in violence, but some people just need to get hit in their face.
Sorry. It was like a weight lifted off my shoulders, honestly. After reading that message, I really wasn't so sad that my friend wouldn't be attending anymore. Yeah, he imploded. And our wedding friggin' rocked.
Good.
We had the time of our lives, surrounded by people who loved us, and we loved them. It still feels like a dream, to be honest. And if my friend tried to show up, I never heard anything up. Yeah, because he probably got thrown in a dumpster, dude. He's not. Yeah. If he tried to show up, he would not be making it out of there. I guess that's the update. It's not nearly as dramatic and crazy as what people hoped for, I feel like, but I'm happy. That's perfect. No, that's, oh God, that my blood pressure's up. Like,
I'm all worked up.
That makes me so mad,
over
dude.
this situation that happened 3 years ago with people I do not know.
I would be so mad. I would try to fight the guy, I think.
I would call. I wouldn't even send a text back. I would call and then cuss him out.
Yeah.
Be like, who the do you think you are?
Is that
texting
what
me
you would do if somebody said that to you?
Well,
Sent that to you?
You know what? Talking a big game here. I don't know what I would actually do. But I don't think when someone sends texts like that,
Yeah, they're not
like
in the
very
right
emotionally charged, I'm like, get on the phone.
He's a coward.
Get on the phone. Yeah, because I'm like, you
Yeah.
should be able to articulate what is going on in that brain of yours.
Yeah.
If you can text it, like I want to hear you say it so you can hear yourself say what you're saying because it sounds insane. And then I'd be like, what is your problem? No.
Yeah.
And don't come. Bye. Also, how dare you?
Let's see what people said.
Oh my God.
So cute that my crush is playing hard to get with me. She may be getting a restraining order and changing all her documents, but I know she's just waiting for the right time to run away with me. Ooh woo.
Ooh woo.
Sounds like the PS5, Dad. I don't know what that is.
Don't know what that is.
But I do like a PS5. You know what we should play?
Let's wrap this up, babe.
We should play It Takes Two.
Let's wrap this up though.
We're going to wrap this up. We're going to go play It Takes Two on the PS5.
Bye.
Outro. Oh yeah, and thanks again to MyHeritage for sponsoring this video. Just click the link in the description and use code Daniel for 10% off. Okay, outro again.